Alrighty, we are back. Welcome to another episode of Fresh Crits. We're off to the Teardrop. It's been a while since I've been to the Teardrop. The last time I was there was during the 7 Crits in 8 Days challenge. That seems like a lifetime ago. And the one moment, the number one moment that sticks out to my memory, I'm sure you'll remember it. Yep, we're going back with some more pain. Cannot wait. I'm in the St. Cloud World Skinny. I'd wreck it tonight, why not? It's basically a world tour field there. Some real strong riders, cannot wait. Let's get stuck into some racing. Shall we talk tactics? Well, probably should never have said that because I don't have any. I don't have a plan. I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but I did watch, this is a bit lame actually, I did watch Bentley's Fresh Crits episode where he strapped on cameras and actually won the Teardrop race. And he raced it fairly aggressively, but stayed relatively hidden, you know, mid-pack, top 15 I guess. And as soon as he started to see some splits, that's when he moved up. So we saved his matches, and that's, I think, what I'll be doing today. Form's really good, I think. Who knows? This is a different beast, this one. And the bike feels incredible. The bike feels incredible. So, looking forward to this one. I mean, I'm nervous, excited, but let's have a crack. It is incredible to be back at the Teardrop once again, ladies and gentlemen, and look how beautiful. Blue skies. Has summer finally hit us here in Melbourne? As I look outside right now, definitely not. It is pissing down with rain, but let's get into this race. So coming into the first time hitting this corner, and it's almost crucial for me to get the line right early. The last thing I want to be doing is chasing my tail for the race. So as I dip the bike in, I'm wanting to hit that apex really hard and almost looking to hit just outside of the gutter there where the surface is slightly raised. But depending on the surface level, it's really, really important there's no gravel and stuff there, otherwise you will slide out. But yeah, definitely have been working on my cornering, especially in this corner. And I tell you what it comes down to. Number one, really nice fat tyres. I'm currently running 28mm GP 5000 on the front, 30 on the back. But on these Farsport wheels, super wide internals, that's blowing out to like a 30 and 32 respectively. So yeah, plenty of grip and plenty of stability to rip it into these corners. And if you want to get a set of these wheels, hit me up. Check me an email or hit me up on Instagram. More than happy to fling through some discount codes and stuff around for you all. So back into this race. Now, the whole purpose of this video is how not to race the Teardrop. So as I said earlier coming into this, the form's been good, the bike's been good, but I've raced this like an absolute muppet. Absolute muppet. And I'll show you exactly what I mean, where I spend way too long at the front chasing down moves when I should be getting other people to help. And then I'm going to turn it upside down and highlight a couple of riders that race this well and always get good results. So stick around to see all that unfold. And whilst you're sticking around, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and comment below. And if you don't want to stuff up your YouTube algorithm, I understand that too. That's fine. Just watch the video in its entirety. It will do the channel a hell of a lot of good, and I appreciate the view. So let's get stuck into this racing. And what we might do is just highlight a few areas of where I did this race very, very wrong. Number one thing you shouldn't be doing at the Teardrop is being Tom here, rip it in. Oh, he's like, oh, it's too far. It's too far for me to go. He dive bombs, probably picks up about 15 spaces, rips around on the inside, and he's laughing that we open up the gap for him. Now, look, there's going to be people in the comments complaining, oh, it's dive bombing, or it's maybe not dive bombing, whatever it is. I don't care if you do it, just as long as it is safe. That move seemed okay, but I know a few of the riders got a little bit grumpy with that. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. Do you think that is fair play, or is that absolute rubbish behavior and we should be sending him to the doldrums? Let me know in the comments below. Now, we all know that when you sign up for Hawthorn, you're going to get some of the best riders in Melbourne out there, and this one definitely says that's true. Here we got Max Gould, number 314, fresh off a European adventure, I suppose, where he was racing in Belgium and Netherlands and ripping it up, even at the Under-21 World Champs, where he did extremely well. And he's caught the eye of Mark O'Brien, another certified hitter, that he's seen Max go off the front, and that is a proper threat. And that's when Marco decides he needs to get on his bike, literally, and send one across to bridge across to that move. And you've got to go. I've said it before 1,000 times. When you see Marco go up the road, you've got to follow that wheel, because generally he knows what he's doing. He's been around long enough. And when he sees a threatening move go up the road, you need to be there to jump onto that wheel. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the legs to get across to this. And I don't want to be caught on the front all the time. And unfortunately, that's something that tends to happen to me, especially at Hawthorn. I still am trying to figure out how this race works. If you've got any advice for me, chuck it in the comments below. I would love to hear it. So I've got on the front to try to keep that pace nice and high, but instead of rolling through, I just get attacked, which is fair enough. The pace is not high enough, 37 kilometers an hour. I'm not strong enough to keep going on with that move. I need other riders to help me bridge across. And you can see the gap they've already got up the road. It is substantial. They've been able to get in front of Seagrate here on the left-hand side and establish a really nice break very early in this race. But still, with 17 kilometers remaining, have they gone a little bit early? Have they been a little bit premature? You're going to have to wait and see. But what you don't have to wait and see is where it starts to fall apart for little fresh crits. I am going to put together a highlight reel of all the things I've done wrong in this race. You're going to enjoy this one, because essentially it's just me riding on the front for zero reason. You may as well call me the welder, because that's all I seem to be doing, when instead I should have been listening to what Bento said. Check this out.
For me, to be honest, it's if I sit at the front, then everyone looks at me to follow every single move. So True. I'm better off sitting very last wheel, basically, is what you would have seen for the first 15 minutes. And it's funny, people sort of forget very quickly that I'm there.
Now, let me be clear. I'm not even in the same league as Bento when it comes to racing, but he does race some interesting points. You can't always be an attacking type of rider. You need to change gears. The other problem is I'm not even in the right move. If I was in the move with the Marcos and the Tom Sharp, it would mean that I don't have to do any welding, and I can instead ride exactly the same amount of watts as I'm probably doing now, but I'll be in the breakaway. I'll be in the front of the race. And this is something that is plaguing me at Hawthorn. I do not race it well, and what it can probably be put down to is I'm just not there enough. Obviously, I've cut these clips quite short, but I just wanted to show a quick highlight of how I'm getting this race so extremely wrong. There'd probably be around 10 minutes of footage of me just aimlessly riding on the front, trying to bring things back together, where I could have recruited the help from the other riders. But this is one of the great things that we can do if we want to improve our racing, is put cameras on your bike. You don't have to upload it to YouTube. You don't have to commentate it, but it is a great way to learn and understand where you have gone wrong in racing, and, look at ways on how to improve it. If I didn't put my cameras on for this race, I would have no idea I'm spending this long on the front. It is absolutely ridiculous, the amount of effort I'm wasting just sitting on the front trying to bring everything back. There's no need for it, and when I go back to Hawthorn, I won't be doing that next time, I can assure you of that. But now let's look at what you should be doing and have a look at some riders who play the game extremely well. Okay, so now that we've gone through all those mistakes that I've made of just welding everything together, let's have a bit of a look at a rider who plays the game perfectly, who knows how to race Hawthorn, in fact, knows how to race most crits, because he's been doing it so long. He's an experienced campaigner, and that is the one and only Pat Drapac here, riding for Team Duda. He's constantly looking around to make sure what the peloton's doing behind him, if he's able to pull out of the roll and let the other riders come through. Because he's been doing it for so long, he knows the opportune moments to jump off the front and let the other riders come through. So he's not burning matches at the end of a race. And that's why often you'll see him as the rider always on the podium, especially at Hawthorn. So you see here, nice little move. He's accelerated up to help the rider on my rear wheel to jump onto my wheel, because he's noticed that everything's been caught back. There are some riders up the front here, as you can see, but there's not a huge concern for him to pull a massive turn. He knows that
I'm or someone else is going to get on the front and do it for him. So he's gone straight to the back of the race now, where he's seen hiding in the slipstream of the other riders. You just caught a glimpse of him coming around the corner there. Great tactics, extremely skillful bike rider, but he is highly intelligent and knows exactly when the right moves are to jump in. Unlike myself, who has decided to not only drop the wheel and once again caught on the front and trying to chase everything back, I have got a hell of a lot to learn on how to race these Hawthorn crits. As we see Pat back on the front, he's identified that that's the move that he wants to jump into, and he's using the classic leapfrog tactic that I spoke about last week. He is jumping on to this Nostromo rider. He's stuck straight into his slipstream, hasn't even pedaled around this corner yet, and he's sucked the wheel all the way across. He's had a cheeky glimpse behind to see if anyone else is going to be looking to pull through, but he's barely touching the pedals. He is happy in the slipstream, not having to do many watts at all. Meanwhile, I'm on the front pushing wins, 350 watts, trying to get across to that. Poor form by me here. What the best statistic to look at the end of a race is not your normalized watts, not your average power. It's obviously your max heart rate. No, I'm joking. No, it's all about the amount of time you've spent under 100 watts. If that bar on Strava is the biggest bar of all of them, you've raced well, because you've spent the minimal amount of time doing hardly anything and getting the results that you might need. Staying fresh to the end of the race is the most important thing. All right, let's go from 7.4 Ks remaining in this race, and I've found myself for the first time in a while. Last wheel, basically. Woo-hoo-hoo! And look at what's happened to the field. Where's everybody gone? This is the remaining part of the race. Now, keeping in mind there is a breakaway up the road, and guess who's in that one? Yep, you guessed it, Mark O'Brien, as well as the young Max Gould, who we spoke about earlier in this video. Those are the two riders that are in this break, and this is what remains of the group with 7 kilometers left. It's been completely splintered. You can see a little breakaway of riders further up the road here who we are trying to chase back as I drop the wheel. This is Hawthorn A grade for you, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you come to expect. It is a full-on smash fest, and you walk away regretting all your life choices, but you know when you sign up for a Hawthorn, you're going to get a bloody good workout from it. Okay, so let's run this one out. From 3 laps to go, let's talk about the finish and how it's all going to play out. Now, I highlighted at the start of this video, I wanted to remain involved in this race, and I have been. You know, in some way or another, I've been able to stay on the front, keep the pace nice and high, and, you know, I'm really happy to say that I finished this one. You know, it's hard enough just finishing one of these races. And you can see Pat in the rear cam there, backing off. He's not cooked. Don't let him fool you. This isn't some Jack Marshall spec. This is Pat Drapac playing the game, sitting off the back, just waiting his time. You can see Nick White there's flick the elbow, forcing the rest of us to come across. And I'm there 400 watts in order to close the gap. Pat and Nick are having a cheeky little chat behind us, I reckon. I'd love to be a fly on the wall, or on the handlebars rather, in that conversation. We're going to have to see how that plays out very soon. There's still a small breakaway of riders up the road. You saw then just 4 riders come around the corner. Keeping in mind that Marco and Max Gould are still off the front. We haven't seen them for about 10 to 15 minutes now. I'm going deep in order to bring this one across. I just want to get up and over this hill. It's not a bad thing, I don't think, to be on the front for this part up the hill. You're going to get ad draft in the back, but at least the pace is going to be high enough that you can back the watts off as soon as you crest the hill, coming into 2 to go now, that you can then fall off the back and let the rest of the riders come through as I look behind. However, there is a lot of heads going down, a lot of looking around there. Who is going to be the next person to pull through? Which raises a very interesting question. Now, I've been racing for only a short amount of years now, but I've noticed there are 2 combative types of styles that go head-to-head in any sort of crit racing. You saw it at Masters Nationals, where Gary Milburn didn't like to be at the front and used to rely on others to bridge the gap. Now, ultimately, it's an extremely successful tactic. It worked for him. Will it work for Pat today? But what happens if you want to play that game and you're caught in a situation where no one wants to pull through? Do you then keep up your poker face and just wait and wait and wait before someone else attacks where you can jump onto them? Or do you have to flick the switch and be like, no, I'm going to put the race into my hands now. Now it's my responsibility to chase back on. I'd love to hear from those riders who use this tactic, because it's either extremely successful when it works, but if it doesn't and no one else is interested or strong enough to pull it back, you're often left missing the moves and out of the race. Personally, I love to be involved at the head of the race, to my own detriment sometimes, as evident in today's race. But enough of that, it is just gone bell lap. We have 1 lap remaining, ladies and gentlemen. Who is going to come out in third place? Remember, Marco and Max Gould are still off the front, and we are now battling it out for a place on the podium. For third place is still on offer here. So we'll cut back to the rear cam, because this is when things start to get extremely tactical. Now, as you saw, I was about 4th place, which is normally not too bad, but this is when Nick White lights it up with a few riders in tow, and I have missed the boat completely. It is chasing stations now in order to get onto this lead out train, but there's already 3 or 4 bike lengths being open up there. I'm just praying that I can get into the neutral zone of this corner as Nick White pulls off. His effort is done, and that I can bring up a few places, but I've burnt a big match. The heart rate's already at 180. I've got not much left in this sprint. I definitely don't have enough matches to get to the head of the race, which is a good 10 to 15 meters up the road. But I tell you who does have the matches. You guessed it, Pat Drapac drops all the watts to take out third place in this Hawthorn crit. Whew! Done and dusted. I don't know where I came. Let's claim a top 10. I'll take it. Just finishing Hawthorn is good enough. And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen, for this crit tonight. I hope you enjoyed this video. A little bit different being at another crit. What did you think about it? What can we do differently? What should I try the next time I'm down at Hawthorn? If you like this stuff, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you all soon. A couple of big videos are upcoming. Tour of Bright is only a week away. Man, I can't wait. It's the best race of the year. Stay tuned for that one, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.